Here we will see another scenario where the ratio between three parties A, B, C is given, and instead of total quantity as was given in the previous slide, here one of the parties quantity is given. That is A's quantity or B's quantity or C's quantity. One of the quantity is given. So the ratio between three parties is given and one of the quantity is given. One of the quantity of one of the parties is given. We need to find the quantity of other parties and the total quantity. Say if the ratio is A ratio B ratio C, that means if we take an example 2 ratio 3 ratio 5, that means if A's quantity is 2, then B's quantity will be 3, C's quantity will be 5. That means in general, if the ratio is A ratio B ratio C, then if A got A quantity, then B will have, party B will have B quantity, C will have C quantity. So for A quantity, B will have B quantity. So 1 unit B will have this mass. So for if party A got quantity A, then it will be, this one will be B's quantity. So if A, party A and party B, if party A got A quantity, then according to this ratio, party B will have B quantity. If party have 1 unit, then it will be B by A. And if party A got A quantity A, then B will have B by A times A. So B's quantity can be represented as this. That means the given quantity A division that given party's corresponding ratio times B. B is the party that we need to find the quantity. So similarly for C, given quantity A, its corresponding ratio A by A, and C's corresponding ratio C, so C will be multiplied. Now total quantity will be, we can add this A, B and C's quantity to find total quantity, or alternatively if A got A amount, then total quantity, total A, B, C will have, say for example if A had got 2, then the total quantity will be 2 plus 3 plus 5, that is 10. So if party A got A quantity, the total quantity will be their summation A plus B plus C, because if when A will have A quantity, party B will have B quantity, party C will have C quantity, so the total quantity has to be A plus B plus C. So when party A will have 1 unit, then the total quantity will be this. If party A has got A unit, then the total quantity will be this. That means the given quantity will be divided by corresponding ratio and then multiplied by the summation of all ratio. Let us do one example that will make our concept clear. Here Mr. Robert, Mr. Nixon and Mr. David work for total 100 hours in a project, where Mr. Robert and Mr. David work 25 and 35 hours. So it is similar to the previous one. So Mr. Robert works 25 hours, Mr. David works 35 hours, Mr. David works 35 hours. Here we are considering this as A, B and C. Mr. Robert A, Mr. Nixon B and Mr. David C. So that is why we do David. And then in the middle, Nixon, Mr. Nixon. So total hour is 100. So definitely 100 minus 25 minus 35, it will give us 40 hours. So their ratio A ratio B ratio C will be 25 ratio 40 ratio 35. If we divide by 5, we will get 5 ratio 8 ratio 7. We did it before. So now Mr. Nixon receives 1600. So Mr. Nixon, only Mr. Nixon's amount, Mr. Nixon's pay is given 1600. So one of the payment is given here. So now we need to find other payments, that is Mr. Robert and Mr. David, and then total payment. Okay. So Mr. Robert's payment, if we consider R, will be, we know one party, the given party is Nixon, Mr. Nixon. So that value division his corresponding ratio, the party that is given and its corresponding ratio will be division. So Mr. Nixon is middle B, so his corresponding ratio is 8. So this one will be divided by 8 times Mr. Robert is the first one, that is A, his corresponding ratio is 5. So 5. So this will be Mr. Robert's pay. Similarly, Mr. David's pay, if we consider it as a D, then 1600 division. So Mr. Nixon's pay and his corresponding here, Robert, Nixon, David. So Nixon's ratio times Mr. David's corresponding ratio is 7. So it will be 7. So if we simplify, it will be 200 times 5. So it will be $1000. Here similarly 2 times 7. So it will be $1400. Now the total payment will be these three, Mr. Nixon, Robert and David. So 1600 plus 1000 plus 1400, it will be 14 and 16, 3000 plus 4. So ultimately it will be 4000. So $4,000 is the total. Instead of using this summation, we can directly find the total quantity. How? Total quantity Q equals given quantity. Given quantity is Mr. Nixon's quantity. This is given quantity. So 1600 division his corresponding ratio 8 times all ratio summation, that is 5 plus 8 plus 7. 5 plus 8 plus 7. So it will be, this is 20. This value is 20 and 8 times 2 is 2. So 2 times 20, 40 and 2 zeros. So 40 and then 2 zeros. So the total. So we can say in any question, if we just ask to find total quantity, then we don't need to find all other quantity. We just directly can find total quantity. So in that case only we will use this total quantity formula. Otherwise, if we need to find all other parties, then we can just add and find the total quantity.